All right, we got the Silverado Custom 2.7. Now this is the Non-Bose edition. I just wanted to make a video real quick so I could show everybody the problems that I've come up with. Okay, so first of all, you have the LOC. Now you could do, if you get the LC2i, which I recommend you do because you won't need to get an LOC and it'll be a lot easier to just tap in. You won't have to get a remote either, which is pretty nice. So anyway, so if you're running an LOC, which I was, you run the positives and the negatives from your LOC to your black and blue wire and your white wire. Okay, so the white wire is the positive, the black and blue is the negative. So wrap your negatives from your LOC and wrap your positives from your LOC and put them both into white and black and blue. Again, white is your positive, black and blue is your negative. Okay, after that, we have the remote wire coming up here. If you're not running an L2CI like I am, you have the remote wire. What you're gonna wanna do, now I got an inline fuse from Amazon. I mean, you can get them at AutoZone or whatever, but I got an inline fuse. This is not correct because Chevy has to be built different. All these fuses are 3-tap fuses, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take out this 10, which is just a spare ignition fuse. So you take this out, you get the right inline fuse, which is not this one. I still have to go pick it up, and tap into that fuse right there, okay? Not this one. This one's always running. This one. Okay, next. If you didn't know the grommet thing, I knew the grommet thing from a million of the videos I watched. I haven't wrapped all this up yet, but so you run it. I ran it from here. You don't have to. You could tap into pretty much any positive, but I ran it into here. Then you run back. You see that little nipple back there? That's actually a factory grommet that you just have to clip the top off of. And then you can run your power wire in through the firewall. What I did was run it down here into this little channel here. Now, I've also been told not to run your RCAs, your signal wire, next to your power wire. So I tried to keep them a little bit separate. I didn't just stack them all up on top here. I actually tucked them under. But anyway, so we ran the power wire, all the wires really, remote signal, power wire, all through there. I fished them out through here, okay? Then we ran them up all into here, okay? Which you can do whichever you want. I have a custom built box. It's not finished yet. I just wanted to make sure I can get it running with all the fucking factory head unit type of things. All right, so I ran the RCAs over into the amp. I originally wanted to put the amp behind the seat, but I decided to just put it in here. You can still keep your jack. I have a tire iron I need to figure out to do something with, but everything else is pretty much, you know, if you've done any type of wiring before, you'll know this is all relatively simple stuff. Just tuck, you know, install, put your wires. The hard part, at least for me, not necessarily hard, but hard to find information on, was which wires to tap into the LOC. So again, black and blue, that's your negative, okay? And white, that's your positive. When you originally make sure when you're cutting this little tape here, because they have a loom, make sure when you're cutting that tape, you go really easy, because all these wires, they're 16 gauge, so, or 24 gauge, so they're really thin, right? So just be careful of that when you're cutting this tape. I also, I'm not gonna butt connector this. I'm gonna solder it later on. I just didn't have it at the moment. But I just wanted to, because I wanted to test fit this basically to see if it makes, you know, if the subs kick on and everything, which they do. Again, I fucked up the remote wire and got a different fuse. So if I were you, just get an inline fuse that has 3 taps, come down, run your remote wire. Again, if you get an LC2i, you don't actually need to get a remote wire. That actually just turns it on for you. One more time, run out your negatives from your LOC into the black and blue, run out your positives from the LOC into the white wire. Okay, this is the Non-Bose system. If you have the Bose system, I believe it's different. I think it's yellow and black and yellow. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would double check your wiring. When I was looking this up, trying to figure out the wiring for a Non-Bose system, it was super unclear which wires I was supposed to tap into. I looked up a bunch of wiring diagrams. I finally figured it out. So I figured I'd post that for you. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll answer them as I can. Thank you.